Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Captain Miles Davis, and I'll be the Master of Ceremonies for this morning. On behalf of the cadets and cadre of Air Force ROTCs, Detachment 605, I would like to welcome all friends, family, mentors, and ELIN's President, Dr. Constance Books, to the Spring 2023 Commissioning Ceremony. The commissioning ceremony is a time-honored tradition that signifies a new officer joining the profession of arms. The ceremony is a visible transformation from cadet to officer. A commissioned officer must administer the oath of office to a new lieutenant and swear to support and defend the Constitution of the United States. As such, each newly commissioned officer becomes an agent of the executive branch of the government, appointed by the President. The pending of second lieutenant rank is a visible sign and appointment and a commitment of being a new officer. The presiding officer for today's ceremony is Captain Jeff Adams, Operations Flight Commander, Air Force Reserves Officer Training Corps, Detachment 605. Throughout the ceremony today, feel free to take photos, but please ensure all devices are silenced. Please rise for the arrival of the official party and remain standing for the playing of the national anthem. At this time, Reverend Julie Towson, Associate University Chaplain at Elon University, will now give the invocation.
Cadets and officers, family and friends, today we are gathered to celebrate the commitment that 8 incredible graduates are making to their country and those they will pledge to protect. Cadets, over the last 4 years, you've committed yourselves not only to your degree programs and extracurricular activities, but also to the Air Force ROTC, often waking up hours before your peers, completing additional coursework and training. In just a few short minutes, we will honor the next commitment you make to the United States of America. This commissioning signifies that you are dedicating the next several years of your lives to service beyond yourselves. Many of the world's religious traditions and cultures agree that to find meaning, happiness, and contentment, one must live a life of service to others. I'd argue that each of you is well on your way to figuring out what takes most a lifetime to understand. So today we give thanks for the commitment that each of you is making, for each of the people who have supported you along your journey so far and will continue to do so. We acknowledge those who could not be here with us today because their lives were taken too soon or because their service has called them elsewhere. May the world be a more peaceful and just place because of your service. May you be kept from harm's way and granted all that you need to fulfill your terms of service with honor and integrity. And may your sacrifice never be forgotten or taken for granted by all whom you serve. May it be so, and amen.
Captain Jeff Adams will now provide some opening remarks.
Please take your seats. Good morning. First, I would like to say thank you on behalf of the cadre of Detachment 605 to the family and friends of our commissioning class who are joining us both in person and virtually. Thank you for trusting us with the mentorship and growth of your loved ones over the last 4 years. And thank you for trusting the world's greatest Air Force with their future. As members of the armed forces, we are often thanked for our service, but all too often, the sacrifices, sleepless nights, faith, and commitment of our loved ones are overlooked. So once again, thank you. To our commissioning class, congratulations. This is only the beginning. Whether you decide to serve for 4 years or 40, you're about to begin a journey that less than 1% of the American population will ever experience. A journey that, whether you like it or not, will be a part of your identity for the rest of your life. For some of you, college in Air Force ROTC has been a story of excellence, highlighted by tireless nights of studying, hours in the gym, scholarships, awards, and titles like Distinguished Graduate or honors. Well done. Be it through hard work, dedication, values instilled to you by your parents, family, or cadre, your own intrinsic motivation, or sheer competency and intelligence, you've passed the job interview and earned a commission in the United States Air Force. For others, like me, the journey wasn't so smooth. Maybe college was a reality check, or COVID hit home a little harder. Your story may have been marked by academic CEs, scholarship probation, hours being mentored by cadre or your peers, warnings and discipline. Maybe you couldn't afford for college or Air Force ROTC to be your priority, and family, money, mental health, your social life, or just life in general needed a little more attention. Sometimes it seemed like there weren't enough hours in the day. Well done. You've passed the job interview and earned a commission as an officer in the United States Air Force. Why do I bring this up? Because we at Detachment 605 are proud to commission each and every single one of you. And we all know that all of you are well equipped to go forth and do our nation's work. You each possess the tools required to be a leader among your peers and have demonstrated that ability time and time again over the past 4 years. Now it's time for you to take control, whether it be the stick and rudder and throttle of a T-6 just miles north of the Mexico border on a hot summer day, or an MPF flight with dozens of airmen charged with sorting and processing actions for an entire base. Your future and our Air Force's future is in your hands. So put your best foot forward and grab whatever challenge lies ahead of you with both hands. Strive for excellence and you won't have to worry about failure. You'll never be more prepared to start a challenge than the moment you begin. So get started.
All right, so now we're going to introduce our guest speaker, Major Aston Ross. A quick bio. So Major Aston Ross is the J1 Chief Military Readiness at National Geospatial Intelligence Agency in Springfield, Virginia. She leads the J1 team providing personnel and manpower support to 500 joint active duty, reserve, and National Guard personnel assigned to NGA, advising key agency leaders on military personnel, manpower, and readiness. Major Ross entered the Air Force in May of 2023 through ROTC from Elon University and Detachment 605, my former wing commander, woot woot. She completed Force Support Officer training in June of 2014, and has led a variety of personnel positions at the squadron, wing, and agency level. She deployed in Afghanistan as the Air Force Sexual Assault Response Coordinator for the country. Prior to this assignment, Major Ross was the military personnel flight commander of the 707th Force Support Squadron at Fort George G. Meade. Please welcome Major Aston Ross.
Good morning, everybody. Are you guys excited this morning? Good. Good morning to our moms and dads in the audience. If you are a mom or a dad or a loved one or a friend, please raise your hand. Cadets in front, please turn around and say thank you to everyone who has supported you so far before we go any further. Thank you. I am so honored to be asked to come here and speak with you all this morning. I have to admit, I'm a little nervous. I graduated 10 years ago from this very university, and I had a wonderful time, and I was sitting in your shoes, and it feels like it was just yesterday. And I am so excited to get to talk with you and tell you a few of the things that I've learned along the way in hopes that it will spur you off on a good foot. The Air Force needs good leaders. I took some time to review some of the jobs and the locations that you will get to go to. But regardless of where you go, what unit you'll join, what job you will do, or how you will support the Air Force mission, your job is to take care of the people under your charge. You will not always have control over what job you do or where you go. You won't always have a lot of control over what deployments you go on or what challenges you face. But you are no strangers to adversity. When I was preparing for this speech, I looked and you guys all came in to university in the fall of 2019 before a global pandemic. Lots of things happen that are outside of our control. But the one thing that you do have control over is how you take care of the people. When I grew up, I was really afraid of making mistakes. And a lot of times as a cadet, Mr. Speaky, who was Tech Sergeant Speaky at the time, could tell you that a lot of times I was very cautious about making mistakes. And as a lieutenant, I made a lot of them. And I want to take some time and tell you about some of the mistakes that I've made so that when you make mistakes, and you will make them, you're going to be lieutenants, and you will make mistakes, and that's okay. You're going to be in scenarios where you don't know what to do next, and that's okay too. So I want you to remember when, not if, you make some mistakes along the way, that I made them before you did, and other people will make mistakes after you. So you are not alone, and it will be okay. It doesn't matter that you make mistakes, it matters what you do after. So when I was a second lieutenant, I was sitting in my office, and I had just gotten off of the phone with my husband, and a few minutes later, a group commander called me in 06 and asked me some questions. And at the end of the phone call, out of habit, I said, "I love you." And I could have been cool about the whole thing, said, "Oh, I'm so sorry, I was just talking to my husband." Did I do that? No. I hung up on him. And I started to dial his number a couple of times to try and apologize until he called me and I hung up on him again. And so it all ended well. He told me that he loved me quite a few times after that and put me at ease. Later on, as a second lieutenant, I lost the building keys. And not just any building keys, I lost the wing headquarter building keys. And so those of you who are in the military or have been in the military know that is a security violation. And so Lieutenant Ross had to report to my commander, and I had to explain why I lost the keys. The building had to get new locks because I lost the keys, and then every single person from our wing commander on down had to get new keys, all because of me. I was mortified at the time. Later on, when one of my troops made a mistake, I was sitting in an office, and when my commander asked what happened, I didn't know it at the time, but I had the opportunity to interrupt and take responsibility for the mistake, and I didn't. And I allowed my airman, who was much lower ranking than me, to take the full brunt of the consequences of making a mistake. In another moment, as a second lieutenant, we had a new airman join our shop, and this airman was quickly dubbed a problem airman. We find those problem airmen a lot of times in our career. This airman had problems showing up to work. This airman had problems completing tasks on time. This airman had an attitude problem. I was getting ready to hold this airman accountable, but what I didn't do first, I didn't ask questions. I didn't get to know this airman. I didn't get to know that this airman had suffered a miscarriage before joining us, just weeks prior to moving to our shop. I didn't know that this airman had also lost her father in the weeks prior to joining our shop. I didn't ask questions. Our airmen need good leaders. And why I'm sharing with you my mistakes that I've made is because I want you to know that it's really important that when we make mistakes, we get up, we dust ourselves off, we own our mistakes, and then we also own the mistakes that our team makes that we are in charge of. And we move forward. Your NCOs, your airmen, the troops that you lead, will not expect you to have a lot of experience, and they really will not care that much about the experience that you bring. And that's good, because you're all so new. What they will care about is that you take care of them, that when faced with an opportunity to be the buffer between danger and your troop, that you step in the way and you take on that force. And so I would like to read a quote. Many of you have heard of Simon Sinek, and I would like to read a quote where he talks about what it means to be a good leader. Leaders are the ones who run headfirst into the unknown. They rush toward the danger. They put their own interests aside to protect us or to pull us into the future. Leaders would sooner sacrifice what is theirs to save what is ours. And they would never sacrifice what is ours to save what is theirs. This is what it means to be a leader. It means they choose to go first into danger, head first into the unknown. And when we feel they will keep us safe, we will march behind them and work tirelessly to see our visions come to life, and proudly call ourselves their followers. I am the first to admit that I've made a lot of mistakes in my career, and I will continue to make mistakes. Everyone makes them. So what do? We take ownership. I took ownership when I lost my keys, and even though it was a much harder scenario, I had to take ownership with the airmen that I made mistakes with, and I grew from them. Now I do not allow any of my airmen to face any trouble that I am not in between. I make sure that if my airmen make mistakes, I will be the face of it to my boss, to my commanders, to other commanders. Take ownership of your mistakes and then get back up, dust yourselves off, and keep on going. Remember that you are their advocate. Your airmen will have problems. No matter where you go, there will be airmen who have problems. And your job is to make sure that you meet them along the way and you find a way to help and take care of them. The mission will be successful if you do that. Remember that oftentimes the best ideas come from your A1Cs. Our lower enlisted come up with million-dollar ideas every day, and you are going to have the power and the authority to see if you can make those ideas happen. Look around you, and as I close, I want you to look at each other, look at the friends you have made. I think a lot of us in this room, regardless of if we are in the military or not, have been in circumstances where we're sitting in a scenario and someone stands up and says, "I'm not here to make friends." I think all of us can think of a time or two when we've been in a scenario where that happens, or we've at least seen it on Survivor or some other show. Don't be that person. You need to make friends. I have seen my peers that I graduated with from Elon University all over the country, in TDYs, while I was deployed in Afghanistan. I've seen them everywhere, and they've gotten me through a lot of tough times. When I've made some of these mistakes that I told you about, who did I call? My friends, and they helped get me through. Having these friends throughout your career will support you. You've heard that leadership is lonely. It is. So build your tribe, build your friends, be vulnerable with them, share your mistakes with them so that they know that it's okay too. And as a personal note, I am so touched and honored and overjoyed that all of you are getting to join our Air Force. I am so excited to know that our airmen are going to get good leaders in each and every one of you. And I'm so excited to see where you all end up. Congratulations to the class of 2023.
All right, thank you for those encouraging words. All right, so now we will move on to the individual commissioning portion of the ceremony, and we proceed alphabetically. Cadet Dennis Alexander graduated from the University of North Carolina, Greensboro with a Bachelor's of Science in Business Economics. He'll be headed to Tyndall Air Force Base, Florida for air battle management training. Cadet Alexander has asked Captain Jeff Adams, United States Air Force, to administer his oath of office. Lieutenant Alexander will be pinned on by his father, Dennis Alexander, and mother, Monica Alexander, and his partner, Samantha Griffin. The first salute is an honored military tradition to honor an enlisted service member who has had an impact on a newly commissioned officer. Many new lieutenants choose an enlisted instructor they are particularly impressed with, or a family member or mentor who has served for this honor. This is the first time a new officer has to return a salute from an enlisted member. Lieutenant Alexander has asked his father, retired United States Marine Corps Sergeant Dennis Alexander, to be his first salute. Congratulations, Lieutenant Alexander. Cadet Logan Jolliger graduated from the University of North Carolina, Greensboro with a Bachelor's of Science in Computer Science. He is headed to Keesler Air Force Base in Mississippi as a cyberspace operations officer. He has asked Captain Miles Davis to administer his oath. Sorry,
I, Logan Adam Jolliger, having been appointed Secretary of the United States Air Force, do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, and I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, that I take this obligation freely without any mental reservations or purpose of evasion.
And I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office.
And I will and will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of the title. So help me God.
All right. Lieutenant Jolliker has asked retired First Sergeant Robert Rivera and Corporal Adam Jolliger, United States Marine Corps, to be his first salute. Did I mess it up? Oh, my bad. Rewind. So you're already catching stuff. He'll be pinned on by his wife Holly, daughter Haven, sister Ashley, and mother Tanya Jolliger. Now, Lieutenant Jolliger's first salutes will be First Sergeant Robert Rivera and Corporal Adam Jolliger.
On my command, dismiss.
All right, Lieutenant Jala, to the floor for remarks.
Heard a little something, something. I am humbled and honored today to stand before you as a newly second lieutenant. Looking back at my journey, I'm reminded of the challenges and obstacles that have brought me to this moment. When I first arrived in Greensboro, I was alone and facing a new chapter in my life. For the first 2 years, it was just me, my blow-up bed, and my foldable table for eating and doing my homework. But today, I'm happy to say that I no longer sleep in that blow-up bed. I still use that foldable table, but I am surrounded by family and friends. And it goes to show that not everything remains the same, and with time and progress, things will change for the better. The road to graduating and commissioning has been a long and demanding one. Similar to Odysseus, the legendary hero of Greek mythology who faced countless obstacles and challenges on his journey home, I too have faced countless difficulties and setbacks on my journey. Balancing school, work, ROTC, all while being a father and husband was not easy. At times, I doubted myself and wondered if I would ever graduate or commission, or be a good father or husband. The long days of doing school, work, or the early mornings with my daughter did not bend or break my resolve to persevere. Excuse me. I refused to give up and push through even when it felt impossible. Through the failures or setbacks, I learned the importance of resilience and dedication, which has prepared me for this new chapter. But I did not do this alone. I have been blessed with the support of my family, mentors, and friends, and most importantly, my wife, Holly. Their unwavering encouragement and belief in me has sustained me through these years. Holly, I want you to know that you are the beating heart of everything I do. Your love and support have carried me through the toughest of times. And I'm eternally grateful for everything you have done for me and still do. To all of you here today, I hope that my journey to this moment serves as a source of inspiration and motivation. Whether you are facing personal challenges, pursuing your own dreams, or serving in the military, know that you are capable of greatness. You have the strength and the courage within you to overcome any obstacle and achieve your goals. As I step into this new role as a cyber officer in the United States Air Force, I'm humbled by the trust that has been placed in me. I know that the work I will be doing will be critical to our national security and the safety of our citizens, but I am ready for this challenge, and I'm committed to serving with honor, integrity, and dedication. Thank you all for being here today. I'm excited to begin this new chapter in my life and to serve my country in the United States Air Force.
Good luck following that, Cadet Jones. Next up, we have Cadet Layla Jones, who graduated from High Point University with a bachelor's in science and neuroscience. She headed to Joint Base Langley Ulysses, Virginia, as a force support officer. Her oath will be administered by her brother, Lieutenant Commander Select Denzel Riena, United States Navy. Lieutenant Jones will now be pinned on by her uncle and aunt, Rodney and Sherry Prince, and retired Navy Commander James Carter. The parents of Lieutenant Jones, retired petty officers, First Class Michael and Veronica Jones, United States Navy, be her first salute. Congratulations, Lieutenant Jones. All right, next we're going to have Cadet Claire McGrath, who is graduating from Elon University with a Bachelor's of Science in Biochemistry. She's headed to Minot Air Force Base, North Dakota, as a Force Support Officer. She has chosen Second Lieutenant Kathleen LaGrande, United States Air Force, Administrator of Oath of Office. All right, Lieutenant McGrath will be pinned on by her parents, Tracy and Christopher McGrath, and her brother, Christopher McGrath. Staff Sergeant Christopher Gournier, United States Air Force, would be Lieutenant McGrath's first salute. Once again, congratulations, Lieutenant McGrath. Cadet Erin Ponte is graduating from Eli University with a Bachelor's of Science in Exercise and Sports Science. She is on her way to Colorado Springs, Colorado as an aerospace physiologist. Cadet Ponte earned a 2023 Distinguished Graduate from Detachment 605. The Distinguished Graduate is awarded to only the top 10% of cadets across the entire Air Force ROTC enterprise. During our award ceremony at the end-of-year banquet, Cadet Ponte was presented with a military saber engraved with her name. Her oath will be administered by Second Lieutenant Macon Lanceman, United States Air Force.
Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name. Having been appointed as Second Lieutenant in the United States Air Force. Do solemnly swear. That I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States. Against all enemies, foreign and domestic. That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same. That I take this obligation freely. Without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion. And that I will well and faithfully. Discharge the duties. Of the office upon which I am about to enter. So help me God.
Lieutenant Ponte will be pinned on by her parents, Mark and Maureen Ponte, and her uncle, Joseph Ponte. Lieutenant Ponte has asked retired Petty Officer First Class Anthony Ponte, United States Navy, to be her first salute. All right, congratulations, Lieutenant Ponte, once again. All right. So next up, we're going to have Cadet Lauren Singles, who is graduating from Elon University with a double major in a Bachelor's of Arts in International and Global Studies and Political Science. She's headed to Vance Air Force Base, Oklahoma for undergraduate pilot training. Cadet Singles also earned the 2023 Distinguished Graduate, and she was also awarded the Sabre at our end of year banquet. Cadet Singles Cadet Singles oath of administration will be administered by Captain Jeffrey Adams. Lieutenant Singles will be pinned on by her parents, Alan and Susan Singles. Staff Sergeant Christopher Gordon-Yero will be Lieutenant Singles' first salute.
Latest rendition of the pilot of the generation.
Cadet Nasir Smith graduated from North Carolina Agricultural and Technical State University with a Bachelor's of Science in Psychology. He will be headed to Moody Air Force Base, Georgia, as a contracting officer. He's chosen Captain Miles Davis to be his first administer his oath of office.
I, Nasir Smith, have been appointed Second Lieutenant in the United States Air Force. Do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same. And I will take this obligation freely without any mental reservations or purpose of evasion. And that I will and faithfully discharge the duties of the office upon which I am entered. So help me God.
All right, Lieutenant Smith will be pinned on by his parents, Julie Emanuel and Willie Perriman. Lieutenant Smith's first salute will also be his parents, retired Sergeant Julie Emanuel and retired Gunnery Sergeant Willie Perriman, United States Marine Corps. And our last commissionee is Cadet Carolyn Savine, who has graduated from High Point University with a Bachelor's of Science in Chemistry. She will head to the Naval Postgraduate School in Monterey, California for the United States Air Force Basic Meteorology Program as a weather officer. Cadet Savine will have retired Lieutenant Colonel David G. Savine, Jr., United States Air Force, to administer her oath.
Having been appointed as Second Lieutenant in the United States Air Force, do solemnly swear to support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. That I will bear true faith and
Lieutenant Swedeen will be pinned on by her mother, Sandy Swedeen. Welcome back to the stage, Staff Sergeant Christopher Gordon here, who will be Lieutenant Swedeen's first salute.
Future weather officer right here.
I'd like to offer another congratulations and a round of applause for the Air Force's newest lieutenants. Major Ross, as a token of their appreciation, the commissioning class would like to present you with a small gift. And right there, it's fine. All right. Thank you, everyone, again for attending today's commissioning ceremony. A reception will be held in La Rosse Student Commons. We'll close the ceremony with the singing of the Air Force song. The words can be found in the back of the program.